Rolling.
And action.
Awesome. Okay, so that was awesome. Haley Steinfeld is a beautiful person, and her personality, like Haley's personality, fits perfectly with Nadine's. Nadine made a simple mistake, and it was crazy. I didn't show you the part where she goes back to the teacher, which this guy right here, he's awesome. Because I don't know, I felt like that was enough for you guys. But he reads over the text, and he's like, he starts reading it, and he goes, "Oh, but this sounds so sweet," and she's like, "Keep reading," and then he sees everything else she did, and it went downhill from there. But you know, she's an awkward teenager, as most of us are, and she freaked out over a simple mistake and went right to her teacher. And irony. Oops.
How ironic.
Colors. Okay. Oh, that's what I wrote. Okay. So irony. All the way down from the interwebs, you know? Yeah. So blue, it's supposed to represent calmness, serenity, wisdom, and trust. Nadine does not have any of those. She's a psychopath. She also has orange on, and they're like polar opposites. So I thought that was pretty funny. Orange is supposed to represent energy, sexuality, change. She's not a fan of change. And freedom. She has none of that. She's, again, a psychopath. But yeah, that's it. So this is me,
Mood.
and this is you guys watching me do this, and that's Mr. Stiebel.
Uh,
Getting ready to ask me questions I probably don't know how to answer.
so yeah, I got a couple.
Yeah, I know.
Let's go. You guys shoot first.
Go ahead. I wrote it.
Yeah.
What?
How did you feel about the camera movement?
Yeah, that's my question.
I didn't talk about that because I thought it was pretty self-explanatory, considering that we deal with these kinds of scenes a lot, because she was freaking out and the camera was moving with how she was feeling. So, like, all the close-ups of her face, it was like, it just really showed how, like, overreacting. Oh, or what? Overreacting? Is that a word? Is overreacting a word?
It shows her overreacting.
There you
Yeah,
go.
you can show that. But it shows how maybe overwhelmed. Is that
There
what
you
you're
go.
trying to say?
That's
Yeah,
the word
she's-
that I was
yeah.
looking for.
Right.
Um,
How does the editing work hand in hand with that?
what do you mean?
How does the editing work hand in hand with that? With the camera movement. How is the camera cutting in coordination? How is it also showing her mental state in addition?
Well, she's a bit frantic
Yeah.
throughout the thing, so zooming into when she was like hitting the slide and walking and pacing and stuff, it just, I don't know.
Yeah, Jose?
You also had like, it was fast moving, but there was also like a bunch of jump cuts,
It wasn't fun,
Yeah,
because
jump cuts,
she's
cursing.
she's a jumpy person.
Yeah.
She's not the type to, like, in the earlier scenes, they show her as a child, and even then, she was very feisty, very outgoing, and she was just always moving. So that's, yeah.
Any other questions?
he's not-
Have you seen Lady Bird? Have you seen that film?
No, I have not.
If you like this film, Lady Bird's, I think it's very, very similar. These films could almost be like, you could almost like mix and match scenes from both those films and combine it into like one big super movie. Lady Bird was like the more artsy version of this. It's like won all these nominated for all these Academy Awards, won a bunch of stuff. But you should check that out. Yeah.
Can you send it to us?
So I could do something better with Lady Bird. So we can cut first round of applause.
Wait, no, she had a question.
No question. Yes.
Oh yeah, I had a question. Okay, I find it also, speaking of irony, it was ironic that of all the she sent a very risque text, and it was very, it was a mature, it was supposed, all right, it entailed mature things, but it was written in a very like juvenile manner. But I also find it ironic that she's in a playground of all
Yeah.
places to go. Do you have anything to say about that?
I feel like I'm being interviewed.
You
I
are.
don't like it. But seeing as this movie is called The Edge of 17, it shows that she is still, she's not yet a mature adult, and she's still a part of like, she's very immature. So I think that's why she went to the park, because parks they're supposed to be like a safe place.
She was also the edge of the.
Oh.
Look at that guy, he's already getting angry.
She's like,
No,
no,
but he's But Tima's
And
having
did you notice there were exactly 17 cuts in that? No, I'm just making that up. But imagine that there were. It's possible.
That's pretty much.
So
No.
just show the clothes stuff and that's it.
Yeah.
Do-do-do-do-do.
Anyway, Amber, thank you so much. Whoa. Great, because the setting really
Thanks,
counts.
Amber.
We can cut.